Good morning, everyone. My name is Kendra McDonald, and I'm the CEO of Canada's Ocean Supercluster. I'm pleased to join you this morning from the rooms in St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. This is the province's largest public cultural space and home to the most extensive collection of artifacts, art, and historical records, and it also happens to be at the doorstep of the North Atlantic. I'd like to respectfully acknowledge that the island of Newfoundland is the ancestral, unceded homeland of the Beothuk and Mi'kmaq people. Like other Indigenous people, their oral stories document their connection to the natural world and demonstrate the value and cultural significance of water. This connection makes Indigenous people natural collaborators in the Ocean Supercluster and has shaped our approach to Indigenous engagement. Canada's Ocean Supercluster is changing the way ocean business is done. Together with our members, we are developing new partnerships, launching new projects, building capabilities and opportunities for growth, and we are supporting an innovative ocean economy that is sustainable and inclusive. During times of uncertainty when the tendency might be to hold back, we have forged ahead. We have doubled our membership since March and have also approved more than 25 projects during this time, many of which will be announced in the fall. This does not diminish the impacts that COVID-19 continues to have on ocean sectors, but instead is meant to demonstrate the resiliency in ocean we are seeing firsthand and the momentum that is building as a result. Today I am joined virtually by members of the Ocean Supercluster team, Indigenous partners and program supporters, many of our more than 300 members, and of course all of you, to announce an exciting new project. Working closely with our Indigenous Steering Committee and Indigenous community partners, we have developed and are now ready to deploy a first-of-its-kind ocean innovation ecosystem project in Canada. Canada's Ocean Supercluster is proud to announce the Indigenous Career Pivot Pilot Project. The project will facilitate and support meaningful work placements for Indigenous peoples wishing to explore career options in the ocean economy. The project will support the employment of approximately 10 Indigenous people in Ocean Supercluster member organizations as a part of a pilot program. During their 12-month placements, participants will gain valuable experience in ocean and will enhance their knowledge through placements that complement their existing skill sets and natural aptitudes. The project represents a total investment of more than $740,000, of which $550,000 is funded by the Ocean Supercluster. This has been a true collaboration, the result of many months of hard work, and I would like to congratulate the team on bringing this to fruition. I will now hand it over to our Indigenous Engagement Lead, Ralph Eldridge, to introduce you to the project partners and provide more details of the project itself.
Well, Alan, and good morning from Corner Brook, Newfoundland. My name is Ralph Eldridge, and I'm the Indigenous Engagement Lead for Canada's Ocean Supercluster. I'm so glad that you could join us virtually for the official launch of our Indigenous Career Pivot Project. In just a few short years, Canada's Ocean Supercluster has become an important catalyst in Canada's ocean economy. And if I had to choose one word to describe the force that drives us, it would be collaboration. Collaboration between industry, research, government, academia, and the Indigenous community. As a Mi'kmaq person, having grown up near the ocean in a fishing community, I cherish those experiences and recognize how they've shaped my perspective on the world around me. Indigenous people are natural collaborators for ocean science, conservation, and sustainable development because connection to water, whether it be a small pond, a river, or an ocean, is ingrained in Indigenous culture. The Ocean Supercluster recognizes the value of traditional knowledge and has engaged Indigenous stakeholders in the development of its 5-year strategy and has a separately focused Indigenous Engagement Working Group. The working group has refined an engagement strategy to meet key objectives. For instance, ensuring Indigenous companies find opportunities in technology leadership and innovation ecosystem projects. Helping Indigenous ocean companies leverage advances in their sector and fostering an environment for Indigenous ocean startups. Today's announcement focuses on another key engagement priority, facilitating new career paths for Indigenous people in the ocean economy. Although Indigenous people have that connection to the ocean, there's a disconnect between the ocean resources and ocean-related employment opportunities. This project aims to help address that disparity. The Indigenous Career Pivot Project will be piloted by associate member Woonweg Development Group with a focus on opportunities in Atlantic Canada, This project takes an innovative approach to find complementary job matches between Indigenous workers and our member companies. The project will provide an opportunity for 10 mid-career professionals to secure 12-month work placements with our small and medium-sized enterprises. Rather than focus solely on job qualifications, we will build individual employment profiles that identify employee skill sets and natural aptitudes. We're targeting Indigenous workers that have diverse employment and learning experiences, as opposed to relying solely on degrees, diplomas, and certifications. This will allow us to provide opportunities to persons that face barriers to career advancement. They may or may not be currently employed or may find themselves underemployed, but through participation in this project and the sports that we have built in, they have the potential to take their career to that next level. We're hoping this project will assist them in that journey. We are pleased that our associate member, the Joint Economic Development Initiative, or JEDI, has been engaged to offer their expertise in employment placements. JEDI has 25 years of experience in facilitating employment and business opportunities to Indigenous persons in Atlantic Canada. To maximize success, JEDI will oversee the development of work-integrated learning plans that map a path for the Indigenous employees to onboard smoothly into their new roles, identify career-building conferences and workshops, and secure workplace mentors. JEDI will also facilitate cultural competency training, in which each employer will participate to create safe and inclusive workplaces. In addition to finding a placement with one of our innovative ocean companies, during their one-year placement, participants will take part in career development programs being specifically crafted to augment their workplace skills. This online learning program is being developed and delivered by the customized and continued learning team at the College of the North Atlantic, another great associate member of the Ocean Supercluster. Many of our industry members have already signed on to this project and have a list of employment placements that are ready to be filled. With today's official project launch, our next goal is to share this exciting opportunity with Indigenous communities and employment and training groups in the region, so please help us get the word out about the project. Projects such as these don't happen without the collaborative support of our members, and we're eager to begin working with our industry members alongside UNWEG, JEDI, and CNA. In addition, this pilot project would not be possible but for the vision of the Indigenous Working Group of the Ocean Supercluster, 3 of whom join us today and would like to share what this project means to them.
Nidali was Zagalay Gapwood Muin Naga Nujiao Wolastokieg Nugukuk. My name is Ken Paul. I'm a member of the Maliseet First Nations at Tobic and a member of the Indigenous Program Advisory Group that is helping to launch the Indigenous Career Pilot Project. Why I felt really passionate about this project with respect to the Ocean Supercluster is that I know that in the Atlantic region, our First Nations community members are underemployed in the ocean sector. There's a lot of activity in commercial fisheries. There's a lot of activity in some of the other environmental areas, but there's also a lack of diversity within the First Nations communities as to the type of careers. We had initial discussions about who we should target and how we should do it when we were first working on this thing, I guess about 2 or 3 years ago now. And a lot of people are gravitating towards high school people, high school kids, university students, which is great. But one of the problems that we're having with some of our younger people is that because there's a lack of role models within the First Nation communities, understanding of the type of career options that people can have. In our First Nation communities, most people think of career oceans as being simply fishing, when there is so much more than that. So one of the unique things that we're trying to do is we're trying to encourage industry, some of the larger scale industry and the smaller scale and medium enterprises in Atlantic Canada, to consider hiring First Nations people within their industry. We also are making those people in the First Nation communities that are sort of mid-career, that are looking and are motivated, doing something different, but still have professional qualifications. We're trying to provide them with opportunities in this ocean sector. So the pilot project is a way to provide some seed money to would like to hire Indigenous peoples, and we will try to do the recruiting and do a proper matching so that we can bring good candidates in, and they can work with these different industries for the next year. One of the benefits of that is not only the employment and the exposure for the industry folks that are hosting, but also it will provide the individuals that come in to work with these companies to go back to their home communities and tell some of the younger people about the different kinds of things that are available in the ocean sector. We want to make sure that the employers are have also benefit from training so that they know what it's like if they've never hosted First Nations employees before, and to provide some other kind of supports, I guess, networking support for the candidates that come in. So we're very excited about this. We're very fortunate and happy that there's to bring First Nations into these diverse careers in the ocean sector. And I'm hoping that, my hope is that by diversifying the economies in these First Nation communities, which are located in all kinds of remote locations across Atlantic Canada, that we can actually stimulate rural economies as well as the urban economies as well. So that's my contribution to the project right now, and I'm hoping that people that participate in this will find success. Thanks.
Hi, my name is John Paul. I'm the Executive Director of the Atlantic Policy Congress of First Nation Chiefs Secretariat, and have been working with collaboratively with different members of Canada's Ocean Supercluster in this endeavor to make this mentoring project a reality. And I believe it provides a really unique opportunity to Indigenous people across Atlantic Canada to become involved with the various companies and opportunities with Canada's Ocean Supercluster. But I think it allows for an important step in terms of those companies involved really demonstrating a solid path towards reconciliation and establishing and building a strong relationship with Indigenous people across Atlantic Canada and Canada, because I think it's an important part of our future. We do have Indigenous businesses that are involved in some aspects of this work, and I'm sure that through our collaborative efforts with our fellow organizations, including the people involved with the Canada's Ocean Supercluster, we will be able to find 10 people that are very highly qualified to work in the various companies that they can actually achieve the greatest potential from the mentorship which has been allowed and funded by resources provided to the Canada's Ocean Supercluster. We will work closely with our partners to help identify those people who have the best chance of success in participating as mentors, but also provide those supports to those individuals over time in collaboration with the various companies and leaders in those companies to create a supportive and positive environment while doing the mentorship and in their evolution towards a long-term career in areas related to work being done by the company or others.
Polisi program sidwan. Wala ali og begin ook is lo stond in ook is go. Ach wala ali ook chiksilwe ook. Ani Deloise Chris Google, Chief Operating Officer at Ulnuweg Development Group. Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Google, COO of Ulnuweg. Ulnuweg is a not-for-profit organization providing business support services to entrepreneurs and communities throughout Atlantic Canada. I've been a member of the Indigenous Working Group since the launch of the OSC, and I'm very excited to see the launch of the Indigenous-led program to promote collaboration between the Indigenous communities and the OSC family. Congratulations to Kendra McDonald, CEO of Canada's Ocean Supercluster, and to Ralph Eldridge, the Indigenous Engagement Lead for the launch of the Indigenous Career Pivot Project. As an organization celebrating our 35th anniversary this year, Ulnuig is very excited to see our work in building relationships with the private sector come to fruition. For the past couple of years specifically, we have been advocating for increased Indigenous participation in the innovation sector. Ulnuig, through our Strategic Initiatives program, has been a strong supporter of the OSC from the beginning in finding ways to promote Indigenous inclusion. This has included our connection with the Center for Ocean Ventures and Entrepreneurship, and currently working with a number of you as members of the OSC family. Ulnuig has also led a STEM-based education program called Digital Mi'kmaq, which its main focus has been to inspire Indigenous students to follow pathways to education leading to careers or entrepreneurial pursuits in the STEM-related fields. This has included, for example, the building of underwater robotics in the schools, and most recently, because of COVID, the launch of our Backyard Science program, which includes promoting ocean science, including Indigenous knowledge as part of those teachings as well. We would love to see this grow as a model that can be replicated across nationally and possibly into other superclusters as well. Success, of course, will be determined by our partners and the success of those employed under this program as well. I look forward to developing more relationships under this program to see where the pipeline of Indigenous students can eventually lead into successful and meaningful employment and entrepreneurial opportunities. Again, many thanks to the OSC and their commitment to promoting Indigenous participation in the ocean economy. Walalio.
Thank you everyone for tuning in for this exciting announcement. I would especially like to acknowledge Ken Paul, John Paul, and Chris Gugu for joining us today to share with us the importance of this project and your vision and commitment to help make it happen. We look forward to continued work on this project and other opportunities to support increased Indigenous participation in ocean sectors. Canada's ocean economy will play an important role in our country's economic recovery and long-term growth. While as a result of COVID-19, our ocean sectors have seen some of the deepest financial impacts, it's also in those same sectors where some of the greatest opportunities exist. Investment in an innovative, inclusive, and sustainable ocean economy will not only generate accelerated growth in a time when it's very much needed, but also create new, meaningful work opportunities for Canadians with diverse backgrounds. Congratulations to the Indigenous Career Pivot Pilot Project team, and thank you all for joining us for today's announcement. Stay tuned in the coming weeks for more new Ocean Supercluster project announcements.